Waiting for all the seasons is different for all, but it's the inevitable truth that spring is condescending to all others. With its lush green grass and floral beauty, the gardens capture it all in a carbon copy. But while a stroll in the garden sounds delightful, would you risk it for an empty wallet? Expensive does not only come in the form of designer clothes and golf clubs. Would you experience an exhilarating fragment of spring, but one that is not easy to get? Number 10, Ace of Diamonds Garden in the UK. The Ace of Diamonds Garden uses gemstones as its theme, bringing bright light and rainbow sparkle to this garden space, adding to its already exquisite view. The link between plants and precious stones is carried through the planting of plant names and associations with precious things. Now, how adorable is that? It's further decorated with a diamond-shaped patio, seating area reached by a curved path of gold, each paving stone, the link in a pendant chain. The whole space is backlit by walls cut from a rock face of amethyst and quartz to add a shining luminosity and rainbow effect as light is refracted through. If this wasn't the background to the next Disney movie, people would riot. The plants are mulched with grass diamonds, reflecting light under the plants as well as adding to the bejeweled effects of this outdoor space. Overall, the garden is worth spending your savings for. Would you even find more sparkly goodness elsewhere? Number 9, the Shalimar Gardens. Set on the shores of the pristine Dal Lake, the Shalimar Bagh is the largest Mughal garden in Kashmir Valley and thus is one of the most famous tourist attractions in Srinagar, although it's still a debate whether it belongs to Pakistan or India, but that's for another day. Covering an area of 31 acres, this garden once served as the favourite summer destination of Emperor Jahangir and his court. This beautiful masterpiece, also popularly known as the House of Love, was originally called Farah Baksh, which translated to delightful. Encircled by tall trees of chinar and many colourful flowers, the Shalimar Bagh presents tourists with a serene environment. It also boasts a beautifully designed canal that runs through the centre of the garden, further enhancing its charm. Although you'd think that's all, but the Shalimar Garden has more to offer. Have you romanticised the Paris streetlights? Where here is a sight bound to intrigue you to the core. The main attractions of the Shalimar Bagh are the chini khanas. Oil lamps were lit at night at these chini khanas, which created a dazzling sight. In present times, however, these khanas are adorned with flower pots, but don't worry, they still carry the intriguing aura. Number 8, Leonardsley Garden. The Leonardsley Garden in West Sussex is a lush 225-acre property filled with beautiful flower gardens, wallabies, lakes, waterfalls and one-of-a-kind trees. And for the ones interested in animals and nature, the floral enthusiasts are sure to have a good day too. The gardens are filled with rhododendrons, camellias, magnolias and azaleas, and the 40-strong mob of wallabies, many of them albinos, keep the garden from being overgrown with weeds according to the Lawn Care Review. The garden has been owned by the Loader family since Sir Edmund Loader bought the estate in 1989. That's over a century, yet it still stands tall with its reputation as high as a royal garden. But the garden went through even more drama when the first part of the original estate was a plot for sale as the Loaders sold the Italianate Manor in the 1980s. It's currently for sale at £2.75 million, US $4.2 million, and is being speculated that the same billionaire has set his sights on the property as well. What if the public denied entrance to the magnificent gardens once it's sold? Would all the fantasies crash once it is? Number 7, the Keukenhof Gardens in Lisse, Netherlands. This garden in Europe has to have its own authoritative charm to represent an entire continent, right? It does. The garden is one of the largest in the world and valued at $21 million. When springtime arrives, 7 million tulip bulbs also bloom in colour around the garden's pathways and ponds. Of course, every garden's charm blooms best during springtime. The colour of these vibrant flowers will make an amazing photograph that deserves a place on your wall. Number 6, the Garden of Cosmic Speculation, Scotland. Enough about flowers and rainbows. Have you seen a garden solely inspired by mathematical and science concepts? Let this be a first. It is only open to the general public on a single day during the whole year. The mystery and aura radiating from a mile away. It was designed and developed by Maggie and Charles Jenks. It has a built-in beautiful geometric pattern, steel structures, chessboard alleys, which are also enhanced with flowers, trees and lakes, as well to complete the whole look of this garden. Unfortunately, future Newtons, this garden has things far from an apple tree. It's also very colourful and amazing garden which is located in Scotland. Number 5, the Yuyuan Garden in China. This garden is a must visit when you decide to explore a wonder of the world, Bering country. The Yew Garden used to be a private garden of the Pan family in the Ming Dynasty. The garden is unique in its design. It perfectly blends decorative halls, elaborate pavilions, glittering pools, zigzag bridges, pagodas, archways, and impressive rockeries. If that isn't enough, you can walk to the Jiuqiu Bridge. If you're interested in the ancient China that is displayed on your average TV shows and books, this is the place that is going to interest you. Number 4. Jardin Majorelli, Morocco. The Mediterranean is the first thought that would come to your mind when you pay this garden a visit. Jardin Majorelle is a garden which was designed by a French painter called Jacques Majorelle. It was also the garden which was owned by the famous fashion designer called Yves Saint Laurent. It is currently in the hands of the world government of Marrakesh City, which is a major destination for tourists all over the world. Number 3. The Butchart Gardens, British Columbia, a modern masterpiece. Today, the Butchart Gardens is a National Historic Site of Canada. You'll find remnants of the original cement plant and millions of bedding plants in over 900 varieties awaiting you as you wander the gardens. Number 2. Kew Gardens in London, England. Kew Gardens, formerly Royal Botanic Gardens, Kew Botanical Garden located at Kew, site of a former royal estate in London, Borough of Richmond upon Thames. In 2003, Kew Gardens was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Now, this is one of the rare things in the world worth indulging and spending your time in. Number 1, the Hillwood Estate Museum and Gardens. You know it's out of your league if it's anywhere near Washington, especially when it's named an estate. Make way for the aristocrats as they introduce you to the magnificent beauty. In 1926, landscape architect Willard Gebhardt designed Abermont, creating a landscape moulded around the 25 acres later owned by Post. When renovating, Hillwood Post incorporated many of the garden designs into her interior design, creating the garden rooms which feature touches unique to the Lunar Lawn and Rose Garden. Post Breakfast Nook even includes an inside garden of orchids, bringing the outside in. If that isn't reason to compel you to stay at home and thrive in the lush gardens. Now, do you think you'll pay any of these gardens a visit anytime soon? And for those who have, is it worth the hefty cash? If not, share your thoughts on what you think of these expensive gardens. Please comment your thoughts down below, and also don't forget to like and subscribe for more such videos. We'll see you in the next one.